As Yamaguchi slowly pried his eyes opened, the delicious smell of eggs and bacon greeted him, making him stumble as he runs to the kitchen. Oi, be careful! Kyotani shouted as he managed to grab the freckled boy's hands, saving him from meeting the floor with his face. We are the only ones here. So no need to rush like you're gonna run out of food, you know. I'm sorry Kyo, it just smells so delicious. Yamaguchi awkwardly smiled before taking his seat. He held both utensils in his hands, starting to hum a cheerful song as he waits for the food. As soon as it was ready, he immediately dug right in. How can simple eggs taste this good? Hey, don't talk while your mouth is full. I'm sorry, Kyo. He smiled brightly. The two have been living together for almost a month now, but Kyotani still can't get used to seeing the freckled boy smile. It was just too bright for his liking. So Kyotani just turns away before taking his seat to eat breakfast. It's not that hard to cook, you know, especially eggs. If you manage to fuck. He paused, before quickly continuing his words. Fail at that, I don't know where to start. You're not letting that go, huh? Yamaguchi pouted, recalling what happened when he first tried to cook breakfast for them. Besides, I'm starting to get the hang of it now. Kyotani just rolled his eyes, before taking a bite of his food. Yes. It only took 2 crates of eggs and 1 fire extinguisher. Congrats. Despite those setbacks, Yamaguchi did improve thought. He graduated from a pyromaniac angry with food to just being a bad cook. Not that much of an improvement, but considering he set the bar so low at the start, there is literally no place to go than up. Kyotani just stared at the freckled boy. His eyes squinting a little, his face looked like they were disgusted when he remembered how salty the eggs Yamaguchi made for him the other day were. Apparently, Yamaguchi was trying to do the Salt Bae pose when seasoning the egg but ended up pouring the entire salt. That's what you get for relying on memes as your information, and if you have butterfingers. Yamaguchi remembered how angry Kyotani was for wasting good eggs by burning them to charcoal, don't ask how, so he still decided to give the Salt Bae eggs to Kyotani. Even though he senses danger in the plate that was in front of him, Kyotani still mustered the courage to try it. After all, this was a challenge. And the fact that Yamaguchi made those puppy dog eyes, as he waited for him to try it. The moment Kyotani put the food in his mouth, it ended as dry as the Sahara Desert. Hey, come on. Yamaguchi stuttered, blushing a little when he saw Kyotani staring at him with a disappointed face. It was like he was scolding him with just his eyes. I'll be good as you. I promise. I challenge you again to try my food too. I'll pass. Kyotani said without a second thought before taking a bite of the bacon. As much as he didn't want to turn down challenges, he didn't want to waste more food. Why do you want to learn to cook so much anyway? I can cook for us anytime, you know. He was right. It seemed easier and safer to let someone who knows what they're doing in the kitchen handle food. Yamaguchi rubbed his elbow a little, staring at his plate. I know and I appreciate it, it's just. He paused for a while, trying to find the right words to say it. Kyotani was just chewing his food while waiting for him to continue. I really want to be independent. Like you. I mean, I appreciate your hospitality and all, but I don't want to be a bother. You're not a bother, okay? Kyotani said, surprising the freckled boy. You can stay as long as you want and need. I don't really mind. Besides, it's kinda nice having you around. What was that? His eyes widened. Nothing. Kyotani blurted out before drinking water. Shit. Why did I say that? He thought to himself. It suddenly got quiet. The two weren't really new to the silence in the air, but this felt strange. Completely different from the comfortable silence they normally share when spending time together. This was just awkward silence. Oh, we ran out of shampoo yesterday, Yamaguchi said before emptying his plate. Kyotani just sighed. That's because you use a handful when you take a shower. Ever considered going bald? It's pretty economical, you know. He grins at him, leaning against the sink. I don't use that much. He cried out. Yamaguchi knows there are a lot of hot bald guys, but him being bald is just not. Besides, I don't look good bald. I mean, I'd look like a brown egg form of a Dalmatian because of my freckles. Holy shit. I can see that. Kyotani shouted loudly, spilling some of the water on the floor. He chuckled hard when the mental image of Tadashi popped out in his head. His laugh disappeared when he saw Yamaguchi started to tremble in his sit. Oh shit, why did I have to curse it so loud? I'm sorry Yama. Here, drink something. He poured some orange juice from the fridge, offering it to the freckled boy. Kyotani crouches down beside him, slowly rubbing the freckled boy's back. Yamaguchi quietly takes a sip, his body started to calm down. Feeling better, the freckled boy just nods slowly. Kyotani suddenly changes whenever he sees Yamaguchi go into this state. That's why he watches himself when he curses, but sometimes he can't help but slip. Bad habits die hard after all. Kyotani's expression softens, visibly worried, and just overall relief when he managed to see the freckled boy starting to calm down. I like that. Yamaguchi smiled at him. Kyotani titled his head a little, trying to decipher what he meant. You mean, the orange? Kyotani looks behind, at the fridge. It's just a local brand though. Nothing fancy. The freckled boy can't help but giggle. This is the first time he saw him make this face, and this just made Kyotani even more confused. I meant the name you called me. Yama. That's nice. I like it. The mad dog's eyes widened as much as he can, before jumping up. He immediately grabbed his keys, handing the other to Yamaguchi before walking to the door in a hurry. That's good, then. Let's go. We're gonna be late for practice. He stuttered a little. Oh, all right. Yamaguchi quickly gets ready for school. Kyotani holds the door for him, waiting for the other to get out so he can close it. It's not like he didn't trust Yamaguchi to lock the door, he just always wants to hold the door for him. A simple gesture, but Yamaguchi thought it was sweet. The two walked together for a moment, before eventually separating ways. They went to different schools after all. Yamaguchi runs towards the bus stop near his house, wanting to be there first. The freckled boy wasn't really worried about seeing his parents that morning, because they were asleep during the day. What he was worried about is his best friend, Tsukishima, finding out he hasn't been home. Yamaguchi. Oh, biscuits. Yamaguchi thought to himself when he saw the tall blonde walking in his direction. Now he realizes he forgot his biscuits for his snack later too. Today is already not looking good for our green-haired freckled boy. To be continued.